You've tried to let go. You've questioned if it's real. You've asked God, why can't I stop thinking about them? And the answer is simple. God placed them on your heart for a reason, not as a distraction, but as divine preparation. Until you come together, God will keep allowing signs to show up, not to torment you, but to remind you, I'm still writing this story. Here are the signs that will keep showing up. 1. You'll keep feeling led to pray for them, not from anxiety, but with peace. You may not talk every day, but your spirit covers them constantly because your connection is spiritual before it's personal. 2. Their name or face will randomly show up in conversations, in dreams, in things people say or things you read. It will seem random, but deep in your soul, you'll know God is confirming something. 3. You'll feel a strong, unshakable peace about them. Even if you're unsure about how it'll happen, even if time or space separates you, your heart feels settled when you think about them being part of your life. 4. Your growth journey keeps circling back to them. Every time God matures you, strengthens you, or gives you a fresh revelation, somehow they still align with the version of you that's being formed. 5. You sense that the story isn't over. There's no resentment, no fear, just a quiet knowing. God's not done with us. God is saying, stop trying to explain it away. I planted that person in your heart because they are part of your assignment, your healing, and your future. I will keep sending signs, not to frustrate you, but to prepare you for the right time, the right season, and the right version of love. So trust the process, lean into the quiet nudges, and know that when God is the author, the timing will match the purpose. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to guess. You just have to trust. Because until you are together, the signs will keep showing up. And when it's time, so will they. And when that moment finally comes, you'll realize why God never let them leave your spirit. It wasn't just about attraction. It wasn't just about timing. It was about divine connection, the kind of connection that doesn't fade because it was never built on feelings alone. It was built on purpose. God was molding you both in private, healing wounds, breaking patterns, protecting the connection before it even fully bloomed. That's why the signs didn't stop. That's why no matter how distracted life got, your heart kept returning to them. Because heaven whispered, this is not over. This is just becoming. Until you're together, you may continue to notice divine timing blocking other relationships. No matter how hard you try, nothing else feels right because only one heart is spiritually aligned with yours. Your dreams include them often, not just as memories, but as glimpses of peace, home, and what your future could look like. Sudden emotional waves. You may feel a strong pull toward them on random days. That's not emotion. That's your spirit responding to movement behind the scenes. Confirmation after confirmation. Sermons, songs, scriptures, conversations. Somehow it always points back to them. Always. God is saying, when I give you someone to love deeply and purely, I won't confuse you. I will keep confirming them to you until you're confident enough to trust me, even if you don't understand the full picture yet. So keep becoming, keep believing, keep surrendering, because when it's time, and it will be time, the signs will stop, because the promise will start, and you'll finally see everything God whispered about them was true, not a fantasy, not a mistake, but a divinely timed love story written by His hand alone. Until then, let the signs remind you, this isn't over, this is sacred, and what God joins together, no distance, no delay, and no doubt can keep apart.
The first thing you should look out for in letting anyone have access to your life is their faith. Do they believe in God? This is basic and non-negotiable. No matter how good, kind, and loving person they claim to be or seems to be, that kind of relationship will not work out eventually, or it might be filled with strife and conflicts. Even worse is that you might become distracted or redirected in your journey or purpose. Apart from Adam, God did not choose a specific person for anyone in the scriptures. Well, except for Hosea. And that's because he wanted to make it a point using Hosea's marriage as an analogy. So while God may or may not be specific on who you should be with, depending on different individuals, he is quite particular about the kind of person you should associate with or allow into your life. 2 Corinthians 6:14-16 says, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what accord has Christ with Belial? Or what part has a believer with an unbeliever?" 16. "And what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For you are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. I will be their God, and they shall be my people." Fulfilling God's purpose for your life should be your ultimate goal, and nobody should keep you from achieving just that. This is the first sign you should look out for. They are sincerely in love with you. Life can be funny at times. The people you love the most, the one who loves you the most, and the one you end up marrying should be one person, but that is not the case 99% of the time. What we have these days is a meaningless love triangle that usually refuses to resolve itself. So, the person you are in love with might not feel the same way about you, and you might find someone who loves you, but you do not feel the same way. What do you do in situations like these? As stated earlier, do not go looking for butterflies as the reason to start a relationship. They most likely would not last except you implement other necessary factors to have a successful relationship. However, love can be built, and feelings that were not there initially can grow with time in the right kind of atmosphere. You should be able to tell if a person loves you sincerely or not. Love is not something that can be hidden, neither is it a mystery that can be understood only by specialists. The fruits and evidence of love are out there for all you to see. Beyond the mushy feelings that come with being in love, there is also the aspect of distinguishing between what is real and what is not, differentiating between men and boys. If a person loves you sincerely, not for what they can get or because of some things you possess, it will be evident in their actions.